Welcome back guys. In this video I'll be trying out LSFG-VK version 1 in many games running on my ROG Ally with Linux based Bazzite operating system. LSFG-VK version 1 is based on LSFG Windows version 3.1. I'll be using LSFG-VK's Decky plugin. Already shown you the setup process for it. We'll drop the video link in the description. We'll also compare LSFG-VK's normal and performance modes. System info section for Bazzite. My Ally is running on BIOS version 3.4.2. I have set the UMA buffer size to 4 GB. Video driver RIDV 25.2.0. Handheld Daemon settings. TDP set to 27 watts. TDP boost disable. Using a very aggressive pan curve. Processor settings. CPU power low. CPU boost disable. GPU frequency auto. I'll kick things off with God of War 2018 using G Proton version 10-12 as the compatibility layer. Connected my Flydigi Vader 4 controller to Ally via Bluetooth mode X input controller. In order to use LSFG via its Decky plugin, need to add this launch option. Show you LSFG settings now. Open its plugin. Okay, first I'll show you the base performance. Not using any multiplier mode. Flow scale maxed out. This is for obtaining the best looking image quality. No FPS cap applied. Present mode first in first out VSync. This way FPS won't exceed our display's max refresh rate value, which will happen if you switch to present mode mailbox. I'll stick with FIFO VSync. Performance mode disable. Ally does not support HDR. Not using any of the workarounds. Launch the game. Display settings mode windowed 720p resolution. VSync and triple buffering disable. No FPS cap applied. Motion blur film grain set to nil. Upscale FSR 2 using its quality preset. Original graphics preset. Jump into the game. There's Kratos. I am at shows of 9. Here FPS is close to 50. Check out the animation quality. No artifacts around Kratos character model during fast visual motion. This is the game running without LSFG. 50 to 56 FPS. Not hitting the GPU bottleneck. GPU load is close to 85%. We have some free GPU resources. Useful for running LSFG as it comes with a performance overhead. All frame generation techniques come with a performance overhead. Okay, first I'll enable LSFG 2x normal mode. Open its plugin settings. From here, just set the multiplier mode to 2x. Okay, FPS barely increased, getting around 65 FPS with frame generation. It's not working properly. Observing a lot of graphical artifacts. When I spin the camera, Kratos character model is ghosting. We are hitting the GPU bottleneck, so it seems the normal mode of LSFG is very demanding. Ally's GPU can't handle it. This is strange. LSFG Windows normal mode does not run like this on Ally. Runs way better than this. And this means I need to switch to LSFG's performance mode. Observing some latency. Enable performance mode from LSFG settings. Except for FPS cap, all of the settings can be enabled on the fly while the game is running. Yeah, FPS increased to around 100 and can observe the added amount of smoothness. Look at that smoothing effect. LSFG is indeed working properly. But I am observing some graphical artifacts. Kratos' head is flickering during fast visual motion. When I move the camera at a normal speed, head does not flicker aggressively. 100 FPS. There's the ghosting effect. Game's interface is not flickering. Check out the button latency. Press the R1 key to attack. R2. Latency is not a problem as the base FPS is on the higher side, 50 to 55. Minor artifacts. Okay, I'll show you the effect of Mailbox. Toggle. It affects the smoothing effect of LSFG. Those artifacts are gone now, but check out the animation quality. It's looking a bit choppy. Mailbox is blocking the interpolated frames of LSFG. See? Now I'll test the next game. Now I'll be running Resident Evil 4. Again using Proton version 10-12 as the compatibility layer. Added the launch option for using LSFG-VK setting. First I'll run the game without any multiplier enabled. Show you the base FPS. Using first in first out facing, performance mode disabled, not using any of LSFG-VK's workarounds. I'll use prioritize performance preset. Resolution set to 900p. Frame rate variable, display mode, borderless window, VSync off, FSR2 set to quality. Disable a few post-processing effects like bloom, motion blur, lens flare, lens distortion, depth of field. Yeah, that's it. We are in Test Leon. Yeah, here FPS is close to 50. Again, we are not hitting the GPU bottleneck. GPU load is around 89%. Game's performance is limited by the single core CPU performance. You can see the villagers in the background. They'll come after me once I enter this place. Okay, I'll just enable LSFG's 2x normal mode. Multiplier mode set to 2x. Back to the game. Okay, yeah, it's not working properly again. FPS 42. Animation quality is looking choppy. Graphical artifacts. Normal mode of LSFG-VK is really very heavy on the GPU. GPU is maxed out. Okay, I'll switch to LSFG-VK's performance mode. Smoothing effect should work properly. Back to the game. Yeah, FPS increased to around 100. Oh my god, look at that added amount of smoothness. Now LSFG-VK is working properly. Observing some garbled textures around Leon's character model during fast visual motion. See, nothing extreme. Then you move the camera at a normal speed. The crosshair is not flickering, that's good to see. There is some minor ghosting around the crosshair. This ghosting effect is not produced when I move the crosshair at a normal speed like this, see. But when I spin the camera, ghosting becomes noticeable. Latency is not a problem as the base FPS is close to 50. Very impressive results here. Let's engage in combat. Burn the cop alive. Should have stabbed him. Oh, that was close. Just running around the bonfire. Stress the processor. Demanding sequence. Lot of NPCs around me. Game's interface, it's not flickering. 90 to 100 FPS. Some garbled textures around Leon. That's it. Oh, missed my shot. Instead, there is the cake. Okay, now I'll test the next game. Elden Ring Nightreign. It's an online game, but it's completely safe to use LSFG-VK with it. No chances of getting banned. Again, I'm using Proton version 10-12 as the compatibility layer. Added the launch option for using LSFG-VK. Its settings. Flow scale maxed out. First I'll run the game without any multiplayer mode enabled. Base FPS cap not applied. This game's FPS is capped at 60. Present mode first in, first out VSync on. Performance mode disabled. Not using any of LSFG-VK's workarounds. Lost the game. In-game settings, display mode borderless window, 900p resolution, auto-rotate settings disabled. Texture and anti-aliasing quality set to high. Depth of field motion blur disabled. Reflection quality set to low. Water surface quality set to high. Rest of the settings set to medium. Strider solo expedition. I'll rate this game. Yeah, here we are getting close to 35 FPS. CPU is the limiting factor. Look at that GPU load close to 75%. We have a lot of free GPU resources available. This game will benefit from LSFG, any frame generation technique. I blew the horn. Okay, let's enable LSFG's 2x normal mode. Animation quality. (2x) multiplayer mode enabled. Back to the game. Again, it's not working properly on ROG LI. GP load got maxed out. FPS 40. Look at that input delay. So high. Animation quality is looking choppy. Character model is flickering. I'll just enable LSFG's performance mode. Yeah, now LSFG smoothing effect is working properly. Minor flickering around the character's head during fast visual motion when I move the camera at a normal speed. Barely any flickering occurs. Real world latency. Attack. This is the game running in online mode. Yeah, performance mode is definitely usable on ROG LI. Still not hitting the GPU bottleneck. You can increase some settings, in-game settings, up to you. It depends on the area as well. Jump down, won't take any fall damage in Nightreign. See, smoothing effect is very consistent. What's going on here? Hearing some weird noises. Oh, these things. Leader. I should have leveled up and died instantly. Now I'll test the next game. Now I'll run LSFG-VK in Mafia the Old Country. This game is very poorly optimized on PC platform. I'm not expecting good results. For this game I am using G Proton version 10-12 as the compatibility layer. Change it. Edit the launch argument for using LSFG. LSFG settings. First I'll show you the base game performance. Multiplayer mode disabled. Flow scale maxed out. No FPS cap applied. Present mode FIFO VSync on. Performance mode on. Not using any of LSFG-VK's workarounds. Lost the game. In-game settings, display mode borderless, full screen, 720p resolution. VSync off, no FPS cap applied. Upscaler XeSS will use its balance preset. By the way, in this game you can use XeSS frame generation on ROG LI. You just need to update the in-game XeSS files to the latest one. Motion blur disabled, global illumination high, cannot lower this setting. Same thing for shadows, it's set to medium. Reflections low, view distance near, texture and foliage set to low. Post processing medium, cannot disable it. Performance QM settings, 120 FPS frame limit VRR is enabled. Here we are in. Here we are getting a variable FPS 45 to 50. Check out the animation quality. This game always stutters while traversing the game world. I even tested this game on ROG Ally Windows. Game's performance is better on ROG Ally Bazzite. Global illumination is also not broken on Linux. Okay, let's enable LSFG's performance mode. Settings. 2x multiplier performance mode on. Oh yeah, it's working very nicely. Take cover here. Kill this guy. Oh no, about to die. That was close. Heal myself. Still live. Check out the real world input delay. FPS is close to 80. Yeah, performance mode is working properly. Landed that shot. Yeah, he's dead. Crosshair. It's minor ghosting, nothing extreme. See some artifacts around the character model. See the garbled textures. Oh no, someone's shooting at me. Clear the area. Impressive results produced by LSFG-VK in Mafia. And now you can see the garbled textures around the character model when I spin the camera. There's some ghosting around my gun when I spin the camera. See? Even the hand is producing that ghosting effect. Now I'll run GTA 5 Enhanced on Linux platform. GTA Online does not work due to the game's anti-cheat implementation. Again, using Proton version 10-12 as the compatibility layer. Applied LSFG's command. LSFG settings. Flow skill maxed out. First I'll run the game without LSFG's multiplier modes enabled. Now FPS cap applied. Okay, I'll just cap the FPS at 60. This game's FPS can exceed 60 on ROG Ally and indoor areas. Present mode first in first out VSync on. First I'll use LSFG's normal mode, not using LSFG-VK's workarounds. Lost the game. Display mode set to windowed borderless, 900p resolution, ray tracing off, frame scaling FSR 3 using its quality preset. Yeah, this game supports FSR frame generation officially, but it produces very ugly ghosting around a fast moving vehicle's bumper. Isotropic filtering set to 16 time, settings high, post effects normal, slider set to 50%, that's it. Game's performance is limited by CPU performance on ROG Ally. While driving a vehicle around the city, FPS will be within a range of 60 to 75. Here I have applied a 60 FPS cap, getting a rock solid 60 FPS. Just observe the vehicle's bumper gain some speed. FSR upscaler causes some ghosting. This ghosting effect gets multiplied, enhanced when we enable FSR frame generation. Very difficult to observe this ghosting effects on ROG Ally small display. There it is, ghost trail. Okay, now I'll enable LSFG 2x multiplier mode. Normal. 2x. Flow scale is maxed out. Back to the game. Yeah, it's not working properly. Observing a performance regression. FPS drop to 40. Character's head is flickering. Noticeable latency. GPU load maxed out. Switch to performance mode. Wow, look at that added amount of smoothness. 120 FPS, this is amazing. Equals my gun. Show you the crosshair. Some ghosting around the crosshair during fast visual motion, and you can see some garbled textures around a character model. See, again during fast visual motion. Ghosting around the crosshair is difficult to observe when you move the camera at a normal speed like this. Latency is not an issue as the base FPS is close to 60. Or rather I should say locked at 60. Oh my god, this is my vehicle. What is this guy doing? Get out of my vehicle. He was trying to steal my vehicle. This guy. Getting a solid 120 FPS while driving. Can observe some ghosting effect around a vehicle's bumper. It's not as aggressive as the ghosting effect produced by in-game FSR frame generation implementation. I'll just show you this. Solid 120 FPS, just disable LSFG's multiply mode or back to 60 FPS. Frame generator, just set it to FSR 3. Need to disable the 60 FPS cap. For this I need to restart the game. Entered my vehicle, just observe its bumper. I'll gain some speed. We are getting a solid 120 FPS. There's the ugly ghosting, see? This is the official FSR frame generation implementation. Modder Pure has already fixed this issue by creating a mask around the vehicle's bumper where no frame generation effect gets applied. So it's 10 by 10 when it comes to LSFG-VK's performance mode. It improved the performance of every game that I tested, but it was LSFG-VK's performance mode, not its normal mode. When I used its normal mode, it caused the performance regression, produced some noticeable graphical artifacts, and increased the latency. This is strange as the normal mode of LSFG Windows works just fine on ROG Ally. So I hope the performance of LSFG-VK's normal mode will improve in the future. Latency was not an issue for me as the base FPS was above 50 in most of the games that I tested. Just target a base FPS range of 40 to 45 on ROG Ally and latency should not be a problem when playing the games using a gamepad. LSFG-VK's performance mode did produce some minor artifacts like ghosting around the crosshair, some garbled textures around a character model. Sometimes the character's head was flickering. These artifacts become more noticeable during fast visual motion but are less noticeable when we move the camera at a normal speed. So that's it for the video guys. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.